So this is our Earth Day Eco-Challenge St. Louis Goes Green team kind of and get together to hopefully meet each other and check in on how everyone's doing, how their Eco-Challenge has been going, and maybe the struggles they've encountered, or if they have any advice for other people on how to increase the number of points. Because I'm realizing that if you already do something, you don't really get that many points. So finding new ways to make a difference. All right. So is there? Let's see. We are also celebrating the 50th anniversary of St. Louis Earth Day. So thank you, Earth Day 365, for putting this all together and making sure we can celebrate and have a festival. So this is awesome. And I'm so glad everyone's here to help us celebrate. So I'd like to start with an opening question. And since we don't have that many people on, I'm excited we'll get to hear from everyone. So what's one aha moment you've had since embarking on this Eco-Challenge? And if you can't think of an aha moment, maybe something in the past that you've had an aha moment with, or if nothing else, what's in your brown bag? What are you eating for lunch, or what's one of your favorite things you've had for lunch since quarantining? Okay. Bob, you want to start since you're on the top of my on my video?
Yeah, sure. One aha, my Eco-Challenge. So the challenge is really with doing all this virtual festival stuff, that just being involved in it, I knew I wasn't going to be able to do too much, but when I go out for my walks, grabbing a litter bag and picking up litter in the neighborhood is awesome. And people are like actually neighborly now. You know, I've gotten claps from people like driving by, you know, so it's,
oh, that's great.
So that was kind of cool. So I really enjoyed that. And so that was great. I'd love to do more. I mean, I see people like take the challenge to do less digital time. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's not gonna happen right now.
Yeah.
So those are two ahas, if I could be so bold as to take two. And then what I brought for lunch was some raspberries and a lentil beet coconut soup. So a homemade broth for my lentils, and it's, oh my God, it's so delicious. I mean, the smells wafting up, the fennel, the coriander. It's just so good.
Good, and plant-based, so that's earning us points. So that's
awesome. You better believe it.
Yeah. And then next, who's next? Yeah.
Oh, I'll go.
Okay, sure.
Right. Yeah. Oh, well, I really I really love how the Eco-Challenge has been updated to be relevant during this current pandemic. And so just, I don't know that it's necessarily an aha moment, but the reinforcement of, you know, like taking time to connect with others that are important to you as an Eco-Challenge, you know, as something that's really being done to, you know, build a sustainable world. And I don't know if that one would have been in there before this or not, but I've been really enjoying that and being able to log in and say, yeah, I connected with a couple of people that I really care about today just to check in. And yes, so that's what I'd like to share.
Yeah, the building resilience. And we've also created our own building resilience action item, if you haven't seen it, but basically it's how are we supporting local and connecting local. So if you haven't already, so you can select that one by or get points by resharing posts or ordering curbside from local restaurants and different things like that. So it's called Connect Local, Support Local under the Building Resilience action track. Yeah. Okay, who's next? What's one aha moment you've had?
Freddie, I just wanted to share. This is Lacey, and I actually work for ecochallenge.org.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's really cool. I love getting to be part of a local team because I've been doing this for so long and had some small local teams, but it's just super exciting to me to get to participate with everyone in this area where I live because I live in St. Louis. But I wanted to say that particularly we're releasing a couple actions for people to be able to choose specifically for Earth Day. Like we're trying to get everyone to do the same action. And one of them actually was inspired by the action that you created about connecting local and having people specifically on Earth Day, like figure out how they can support nonprofits or local businesses. So that was inspired by the action you created, and I just wanted to share that with everyone.
Awesome. Thanks, Lacey. Yeah.
And my aha moment is, yeah, like I like doing Eco Challenge. I'm doing it all the time for all the different events we're doing throughout the year. But it is just so much more inspiring to me to be able to be a part of a local team and like find out what people are doing locally and the pictures people are posting about what's happening here and just feel connected to all of you. And it makes me really excited that we're also doing so well out of all the teams. I like it anyway, but that's really exciting.
Yeah, to note, yes, we are 14th worldwide with almost 9,500 points. And we're only beating WashU together by like 200 points. So we got to keep it up. But it's wild. The top #1 team, which is a high school, they have 32,000 points. So there's lots of, I guess, opportunity for us to see if we can get #1. Okay. Anyone else with an aha moment or who would like to share or introduce themselves? We've got lots more people on. That's awesome.
I'm Kathy from Earth Day, and I honestly haven't had time to have an aha moment. That's all. Thank you all for being part of our virtual festival. I think it's going really well so far.
Great.
I feel you, Kathy. Thanks for saying that. I joined this call so I could get up to speed and join up and start getting us some points. So I haven't done that, but we've done a lot of things, and probably my favorite thing that has happened just since being stay at home is similar to what I don't know your name, the first guy said. My son, who is our top family environmentalist, has been walking the creek behind our house and picking up things out of the creek. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, if you want, actually, sorry to keep interrupting everyone, but there's Living Lands and Waters. They're doing kind of a campaign type thing where use the hashtag #C10CleanTin. So if you like see 10 pieces of garbage, you pick up 10 pieces of garbage and then nominate maybe like 10 other people or at least 3 other people to do the same thing. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll tell him.
Anyone else with an aha moment?
I'm Jess Watson. I'm also with Earth Day 365. And like Kathy, I haven't really had time to fully engage with the Eco Challenge this year. This is my first time joining, and I was very excited to pick all of the different options the first day. And then I feel like I haven't really been following up and logging points as it's intended to. And so I wanted to really ask about, so this is not necessarily aha moment, I'm sorry, because again, I haven't really had one yet, but I really wanted to ask a lot about the things that we're doing already. How can we make them count, or how can we be strategic about it so that it's earning more points for the team, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm wondering if that people challenge section, if we could, or I don't know if Lacey, if you have any insight, if just having more conversation with people about like what you're doing, what you're already doing, and then that can hopefully count as points.
You're on mute. You're on mute.
Yeah, I couldn't unmute it myself. Sorry. So you can actually go in and click like I already do this for actions, and you get like a point per action that way, but it lets you to be like, okay, like I'm not doing anything new, but I already do this thing, and that's really cool. I do think that if you're like me, like, yeah, the connecting with people through a phone call or a video chat is something you're already doing because of the pandemic, and that's one of the actions that's the action I've probably been the most successful at. And some days it is overwhelming, kind of like Bob said. It's like people are choosing to like not connect as virtually, and it's like that's all I do. Like all of my volunteer work, all of my social stuff is now videos. But you know, sometimes I'm connecting with like 5 people a day, and you're able, even if you only commit to doing so much per day, when you check in, you can actually check in and say how much you actually did. So whether you did less or you did more, you can still check in and you get points for doing that. So that's another way to like, just if you check in every day, you get points for checking in.
But if you're already doing an action and you select like, I already do this, there aren't any points that you're gaining by doing that, correct? And is there a way to gain points for things that you're not necessarily like adding to your life now, but that you've already been doing? Like, other than maybe posting about them.
Yeah, so you do get, I think it's 1 point per thing that you say you already do.
Okay.
So it's not very much, but you do get something. Also, posting to your feed each day, you get points for posting to your feed. And you get points for inviting other people to join. So there are ways to get points that way. The reason why the Asheville, so we don't have teams set up as far as like who's winning based upon per capita, if that makes sense. Like it's just total number of points. So the Asheville high school team that's winning, they've actually won. They won a drawdown eco challenge a couple of years ago. They have their entire high school participating, so they just have a lot more people than we do. So that's part of it too. Is we would like to be able to do competitions where they're actually like per capita, so you can sort of see like based upon the number of people, here's the number of points you have. But right now it's just total points for each team. So if you have a lot more people on a team, then they're going to probably, if they're participating, they're probably going to have more points.
Yeah.
So full disclosure, I'm a mole. I'm from the Wash U team.
Oh.
I'm learning all your secrets. And that's why it's called a challenge. You got to challenge yourself, not just get points for what you're already doing. No, but it's been really fun to participate. I think for me, the best part of the whole thing is to see the tools that are, or like the resources that are attached to each of the challenges to really, it's just connecting me with a lot more information and has been really helpful. And it's, like I said, a great tool that we hope to use, like incorporate into what we're doing kind of beyond virtual reality and just use it in the future.
That's awesome. Have you had an aha moment, Cassandra?
Yeah, so one of the things I'm really struggling with is not rinsing dishes. So I grew up always not rinsing dishes, and then now it seems like I've had to make some choices between I've had to turn up my hot water heater because I had it pretty low, and then also I used like a Better Life auto dish soap, and I think that between like having the water not hot enough and using that dish soap, both of which are environmental for environmental outcomes, it just doesn't wash the dishes well enough. So I'm kind of trying to figure out what like the lowest threshold of rinse I can do in order to still have clean dishes. And so I'll like fill a little thing with water and just use that one little thing for all the dishes. So anyway, that's what I'm trying to perfect.
Our new Bosch dishwasher is amazing. High efficiency, gets everything clean without rinsing. So, just saying.
Great.
Yeah, I don't have a dishwasher, so you guys are lucky. I wash dishes like I'm camping, so I like always like fill up a little container and just keep the suds flowing. So yeah. Would anyone else like to share an aha moment before we continue?
I don't have an aha moment, but I found if I just leave that window open in my mess of tabs, it makes me look at it more often, and then I remember to do stuff and at least check in most of the time. So I think that has helped me. I'm also eating a lot less meat, just because I'm eating a lot less because I've been busy, but also because I just am. And even when my husband cooks meat, I'm finding it less appealing. I think that's a good thing.
Does anyone else want to share how their eco challenge is going, or if they've had an aha moment?
This is Cynthia Pavelka. I'll speak. Probably my aha moment was, I think somebody else kind of mentioned it, the resources. And I went into the one about, I don't use much makeup, and right now you don't really need to, but about the micro and nano plastics that are in makeup. Then I kept going through all the resources, and if you felt like it was a, unachievable thinking about all the plastic that you use. And I mean, I don't feel like, I try to minimize, the plastic and have recoverable tops and all that, but I really got into, and the kind of question I had was when they were saying plastics, I really think they're talking about more petroleum than other things. So I do appreciate the resources. I think they've got some valuable resources, and people sharing those resources will be great also. Probably the other thing I have been doing is once I work on something, it does have a reflection, and you get 15 points for any reflections. So that's another way maybe to boost your, even though I hadn't done something, then I could still reflect on it. That's it for me. Thank you.
I have had an aha moment. I'm not quite sure where to put it in the Eco Challenge, but I try to grow a lot of my own food. And this year, I really took a serious look at, my yard is organic, that I don't use any bad chemicals out there. And so I have started eating, for salad greens, dandelions, which I have plenty of. And there are some groups on Facebook that have pretty good information on that. So I've had dandelion and violet salads. And one reason to do that is because I have only shopped once in 5 weeks, and it's hard to purchase greens. Besides, I'm a little leery of the greens that have been handled by other people. I'm not, I'm an adventurous food eater, but I'm just thinking, I've seen recently that cooked food prepared by others is likely okay. Salads and raw food, maybe not. So actually, it was just, I wasn't going to the grocery store and like, okay, now I'm out of fresh stuff. What am I going to eat? So, and I've actually enjoyed the salads that I've made. And you can eat, I didn't know this, you can eat red bud flowers. They're kind of bland. I'm not making jellies out of any of these things. I make jellies out of things that have more flavor. But that to me, I guess you would call it an aha moment, because I'd heard these things before about eating dandelion greens and I didn't do it. I am planting a lot more. I hope to eat mostly from my garden. I mean, for one person, I've always planted at least 8 tomato plants, but this year I've planted like 9 cabbages. So I'll have to freeze that. Yeah. But I have frozen cucumber from last year and tomatoes still, and I'm waiting for it to get warm enough to fix gazpacho, because I think gazpacho made of frozen cucumbers will be just fine. You know, to serve them like fresh, no, but to put them in gazpacho. So food-wise, I've made some transitions.
That's great. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we only have about a couple minutes left. So just wanted to say thank you so much for being here today and making the commitment to create a better shared future in the month of April. And I hope, and we hope at the U.S.Green Building Council Missouri Gateway chapter that you take this team experience and continue to let your actions speak for Earth all year round and for the rest of time. So creating change is steady work, but simple everyday actions can give us a healthier, more equitable, and more sustainable place to call home. So thank you for your individual actions, because just like what the Earth Day Eco Challenge is all about, when we bring our actions together and work collectively, those actions speak for change and reduce our carbon emissions on Earth. And yeah. So as a closing question, or I guess if anyone has any last minute quick questions about the Earth Day Eco Challenge or anything they need answered real quick, we can do that. But I wanted to leave you with a question just to take away with, and that you could hopefully go to our Earth Day Eco Challenge page and post your answer there so we can get some more points. But yeah, are there any Earth Day Eco Challenge questions or anything we can troubleshoot real quick? I know there were some questions about posting, and I hope I answered them in the chat. But yeah, does anyone have any questions? Maybe Lacey, you can help me answer. Okay, I'm trying to read some of our chat here.
A lot of good tips on wild edibles.
Yeah.
It's so nice that this is happening in the spring.
Right.
I did think about that. Winter would have been horrible just for getting outside.
For some.
I would say just another tip, and I put this in the chat, is if you know someone on the team who hasn't been particularly active, because there are a lot of people, if you scroll, I mean, we've got like 95 people on our team, I think, and if you start scrolling down, you see all these names that don't have any points at all, which means they haven't even picked actions. So, you know, maybe just worth a little nudge to people to say, hey, what are you doing for the Eco Challenge? And maybe you should start posting some stuff. So that's a good way to keep people engaged if they've already signed up.
Perfect.
Lacey still can't unmute herself.
There you go.
I don't know. Yeah, I was trying. Sorry. I was just gonna. Linda had posted something about how you post your feed. So if it's okay, I was just gonna share my screen really quick and just show you how to do that.
Oh, perfect.
So. Oh, I think that's disabled too.
Here, try it now.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay. So if you go to your home page and you go to your dashboard, this is what it looks like, at least on a computer. Then you can go down below your challenges that you check in with each day. And this is when it says how's your challenge going, you can post here and it posts to your feed and you earn 5 points for posting to your feed. And then if you are doing one of your actions, down here at the bottom, there are reflection questions. So if you go to the reflection question, answer it, you earn 15 points for posting that to your feed.
Yeah.
Now, you don't earn more points if you make like 10 posts in a day. You only get points for the very first post that you made. So that's like kind of part of it is like you're trying to come back every day and respond to your teammates and see what they're saying and give them high fives and encourage each other. But those are additional ways to get points if you haven't done that yet. And that's something I love looking at the feed and seeing the pictures that people are posting and the resources that they're sharing and their reflections. So it's a fun way to feel connected too.
Yeah, and just to add on to that, if you can choose, and Lacey, you might just share your screen again, like along the top, there's like there's like a choice to go to the feed. Like if you just want to find your team feed, sometimes I struggled with this when I first started. You click on that feed button and then it'll take you to the full, you can get just from your team, you can get your own, or you can get the whole, like everybody participating. So that's another way to go directly there if that's something that you're looking for.
Yeah, and this looks a little different on your mobile device. If you're doing it on your mobile device, these will pop up over here on the left side of the screen, just so you know if you're looking that way. But then you can see all the things that people posted and respond to each other and see really awesome photos that people are sharing and stuff like that.
Cool. I like the feed too. That's one of my favorite parts about the challenge.
All right. Thanks, guys, and thanks for all your tips, and thanks for joining us today. Happy Earth Day month. Happy Earth Day year. It's April 2020. So our closing takeaway, I guess I want to ask, I changed it because my teammates thought it was going to be too much of a heavy question. But I forgot my notes, so I'm going to ask, let's see if I did it. What or how individually or with your family, work, or community do you believe we are going to elevate our long-term impacts? So kind of after our stay-at-home orders and after this eco-challenge, feel free to post on our eco-challenge team page how you think we're going to elevate long-term impacts. So take your time. It's not something to answer right now, or if you have an answer right now, that's awesome. But it is 12:29, so I just wanted to make sure, respect all the other St. Louis Earth Day Festival events happening today. So be sure to check out earthday-365.org for what's coming up next. And then on a personal note, for the U.S.Green Building Council, we are hosting a green building tour, a virtual tour of the Alberici headquarters at 1:30 today. So tune back in, go get some fresh air and finish your lunch. But yeah, a huge shout out to the Earthway Center, for us, Missouri Gateway Chapter, our 1STL team, and Earth Day 365 for all coming together and being part of the St. Louis Goes Green team. So cheers. Thanks, you guys, and have a good rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you soon.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.